Hi everybody, happy Saturday. I hope you're well. Recording this on the 11th of February 2023. I am just going to take some cards here from some of the tarot decks I've got and oracle decks, just to check in when it comes to Mercury in Aquarius. Of course, that's the transit that has just happened. And if you're interested in the astrology overview, check out my The Goddess of Neptune page. I've got a social media page that I've recently started, and of course my YouTube channel has been renamed to The Goddess of Neptune. So you'll find the astrology overview video on my YouTube channel. Very interesting, because of course we are now into this energy of liberation, of expression, of truth. What was coming through to me this morning was integrity. That was loud and clear coming through. Integrity in capital letters, really. You know, that's how it came across. We have to be operating from our integrity, but not to please others. It needs to be truthfully from our integrity. And with Mercury now moving into Aquarius, there is that sort of liberation, freedom of being able to express ourselves for who we truly are. So I won't go into detail on that. Of course, you can check out my astrology overview. There will be a link in my link tree to my YouTube channel. So do check that out if it resonates for you. But I was also drawn to what Lilith is doing as well, because there is 1 degree away from, certainly in the UK's natal chart, Neptune, and it's in the 2nd house of worth and values. So very much about bringing things up to the surface when it comes to our worth and values. Now, check out where Lilith is in your chart and where Neptune is in your chart, of course. So wherever Leo is for you, and certainly those transits going on, because it's going to play out differently for you. This was just based on the UK's chart, looking at a collective view in terms of the UK's natal chart. But it did highlight that because, of course, the North Node is still in Taurus. So, you know, we're trying to move forward in the direction of our purpose and to truly embody our purpose, why we're here, you know. And things could be coming up where we really need to clear up the communication. So my astrology overview takes care of that. So check that out if you're drawn to it. If you just want to check out the tarot, of course, I'm going to pull some cards, and of course I've got oracle decks as well. But that essence of integrity, yes, that's certainly across the board. We need to be operating from our truth, from our divine truth, from our integrity, and not because we feel that's what somebody wants to hear. We need to be operating truthfully from that integrity. So what I'll do is I'll draw some cards from the Lightseers Tarot. I'll see what else wants to come through, and we'll take it from there. Okay, so set the intentions beforehand of messages from the pure white light. Okay, it's important to always mention that. Of course, Mercury, when you think of expression and communication, it can also relate to our thoughts. And we know that there has been that energy of change going on. So this is, again, is where innovation of communication with others, you know, Aquarius is also about connection. So where do we need to change our communication with others? Where hasn't it been working for us? What do we need to do? And it also highlights where we need to change connections generally. The energy is stiff today. The cards are not wanting to play ball. Let's see, let's go for one more. Let's see how it's going. Oh, that one flew out. Oh, wow. Look at that one. That one literally flew out at me. 2 of Cups. Right, we'll see what else comes up, but that does relate to connections. Of course, that is a soulmate card. We have soulmates with many people, not just romantic connections. So we'll see what else comes out, but this does relate to connections, kindred spirits, kindred souls, and the emotional sort of, you know, harmony and fulfillment that can come from that. But there maybe is some lack of drive, lack of clarity when it comes to that spark. There might also need to be some enlightenment because of the flame being there on the 3rd eye. But in terms of bringing a new passionate beginning together, there is some sort of enlightenment that's needed. Now, this guy flipped out on his side, the Emperor. So perhaps the Emperor doesn't know which way to turn at the moment. So you could be dealing with a masculine. Remember, we've got masculine and feminine within us. So if you identify more as a masculine energy, then, you know, take it how it resonates, reverse roles. But this is Emperor energy. This is divine masculine energy that doesn't know which way to turn, because literally flipped out on his side. We'll see what else comes out. Of course, it doesn't have to be applying to a romantic situation at all. Oh, but we have the Ten of Cups. That is emotional fulfillment and happiness. We are coming up to Valentine's Day as well, aren't we? Oh, but look at what we've got here. Somebody is resisting the Tower. Okay, let's see. One more card, please. One more card. And the thing is, the energy in shuffling the cards was quite, I mentioned stiff. It was just, the energy was a bit stuck, really, which could be indicative of that masculine energy, not knowing where to turn. And there we go. So those, sorry, there's 3 there that flipped. Oh, yeah, this is, okay, this is telling me something. This is telling me something. On the bottom, Sun card, true expression of self. Again, operating from that place of integrity, as I mentioned earlier. So these 3 wanted to come out together. So we've got the 5 of Swords in reverse, the 9 of Wands in reverse, and 7 of Wands in reverse. This is about having too much conflict in the mind, too much stress, overthinking, worrying, too much up there, conflict, and needing to let one's guard down. It's okay to have boundaries, because we do need to have those healthy boundaries in place, but it's recognizing where you need to actually allow those boundaries to fall, to bring the opportunities in. Of course, we need to free up energetic space in order to accept the new. But there is certainly conflict going on that somebody needs to move out of, either yourself or somebody that you're dealing with. And that was the other one that wanted to come out, 2 of Wands. This is choosing a path that is right for you, and it's often the path less traveled. It's often the one that is out of your comfort zone. So there could be fears attached to it. Now, it didn't come out in reverse. This is saying a choice needs to be made. So a wand needs to be chosen here. And of course, we have the Ace of Wands in reverse. It goes Ace to the 2. So a choice underpins that, because that's in the upright and that's in reverse. So a new beginning can't come in reversed, because a choice needs to be made first. And that's where, as you see in this card, she's selecting that Ace of Wands, the wand, the opportunity, the person, however resonates, to move forward with or for. Okay, and that choice could relate to a masculine who is indecisive, doesn't really know what way to turn. It could simply relate to your masculine energy, not knowing which way to turn, not knowing which choice to make. But somebody is resisting the Tower here. This Tower, and I love how this card depicts it, because it's that beautiful nature element to change. This is saying that change is needed, and it can be unexpected. It can hit like a lightning bolt, but there is great transformation in it. But in reverse, there is resistance to change. There is resistance to change, and we've got the 2 of Cups and the 10 of Cups. So this does relate to emotional fulfillment and happiness. Again, doesn't have to be romantic, because it could simply be saying that there is some situation that you're looking for that emotional fulfillment within. And at the moment, nothing can get off the ground with it, because a choice needs to be made. So don't resist change. You know, that change is going to bring about change. You know, that choice is going to bring about change. But a choice needs to be made. Or, as we know, the Tower moments happen for us anyway. So it's always better to be in control of these choices where we know we need to make them, and to remove ourselves from that inner conflict that could be making us feel guarded and having to put the barriers up to this. A choice needs to be made in order to allow that true expression of self with the Sun card. Of course, that's Leo energy. That is Major Arcana. We've got the Tower, which is Scorpio, and we've got the Emperor, which is Aries energy, okay? And we've got Wands, Cups, and Swords, but we've got no Pentacles energy. So stability might feel like that's lacking at the moment, but we don't want to be in lack consciousness. This is where, you know, our emotional fulfillment needs to come from within, and we need to operate from that place of integrity and recognize everything is within us to create our reality, the reality that we desire. So this choice, if this choice is going to move us towards more stability and emotional fulfillment, then that's the choice we need to make, and we need to remove ourselves from the fear of change, deep, transformative change. Okay, let's see what else we have. Okay, from Queen of the Moon. What does the Queen of the Moon want to tell us? Thank you. We've got one. Do we have any more? Two more. Interesting. On the bottom, self-reflection. Check that out. So this has given me a couple of messages. Of course, what we see in our reality reflected back to us is that manifestation of what is going on inside. And that's where that internal change needs to happen, where we need to be kinder with ourselves and where we need to come from that place of integrity, because when we are, we're going to have that back reflected back to us. But this is also saying, yes, there might be someone else that you're dealing with, but ultimately it's coming from within, if that makes sense. Because our relationships, you know, our connections are mirrors to us. Now we've got 3 in reverse here. We've got release. So there is a need to release something, someone, fears, whatever it might be, conflict, need to trust, you know, and what I'm drawn to there is almost like this bubble again that we saw with the 7 of Wands in reverse. So know that you're protected, know that you are protected and you can have those healthy boundaries, but trust in the universe that all will prevail in the way it's intended to prevail, and surrender to that, because we have that in reverse as well. And that can often be the most challenging part of it, surrendering, putting out our manifestations, knowing what we want to work towards, and then surrendering, letting it be and not focusing on it, because the more we focus on it, the more it's going to repel it away. That's my view, okay? That's my view. I was drawn to, I've got the Gilded Tarot deck and the top card, Queen of Cups in reverse. So definitely need to lead with our heart space. Absolutely. And it all comes from within, so be kind to ourselves. Okay, Astro codes. Let's see what we have from the Astro Codes deck. Again, a reminder to check out the astrology overview on my YouTube channel if that resonates for you. We've got solar flare, activation. So that could be going on within you during this heavy transformative time of change. You know, something is wanting to be activated here. Let's see what else we might have. Thank you. Oh, yeah, that is... Okay, so we've got solar flares, as I mentioned, about activation. So something here wants to be activated, and I feel this is to do with this new beginning, but that new beginning needs to be allowed from the choice, because as I mentioned, she's holding the Ace of Wands. So the choice brings about that new change and the emotional fulfillment that's going to come, the happiness that's going to come. Chiron in reverse, so resistance to healing potentially, and that could be why there are fears and conflict. I mentioned in my astrology overview as well, give yourself a pat on the back, because this has been heavy. This energy has been heavy, and I'm not exempt from it either. I've been going through it as well. This is all coming up for us to teach us valuable lessons. We need to learn these things to grow, but we also need to be empowered enough to make choices. And through our healing process, we can often see clearly, or more clearly, what those choices are, because we're recognizing what is no longer serving us. And we heal. We don't want to then sort of, you know, go back to how things were. We've healed, we've learned those lessons. We need to move forward. And that's where choices come in, because the universe almost wants to test us with that. Have you really healed? Have you learned what you need to learn? Here's a choice for you. Let's see, you know, what you're going to do. But it's ultimately for our own highest good. And you've got two amazing emotional fulfillment cards here with the 2 of Cups and 10 of Cups. So if this relates to a person, you know, you could be dealing with a masculine that's a bit on the fence. This is saying you've got to make a choice about it, because you want the emotional fulfillment at the end of the day. But if there's too much conflict and somebody's got their barriers up too much, then change is needed. And don't resist that change. Don't hang on to something that is not showing you your worth. It has to start from within. That one wanted to come out. Neptune in reverse. Yes, interesting, because I also mentioned Neptune in the astrology overview. Where have we been deceiving ourselves because of what other people have told us that we're not worthy of? If that resonates for you, check out the astrology overview. But we need to recognize that we are mystical, magical beings. We are souls having a human experience here. Neptune can be absolutely fascinating. I'm Piscean, so Neptune is my ruling planet. So yeah, absolutely ethereal, mystical, magical. That dreamy essence, but it's in reverse here. So that's the more shadow side of Neptune, which is the illusion, the deception. And it very much came up today in the astrology overview because of Lilith. So certainly wounds coming up to allow us to recognize where we've been deceiving ourselves. And if that's been because of what other people have told us, enough to that. This is time to move forward with our own integrity. And I know that comes across quite blunt, but I'm using this Mercury and Aquarius energy to express myself fully. And I'm very passionate about this, that it's been too long for us to stay conditioned by other people under illusion that we're not worthy of things when we are worthy of things. We are worthy of 10 of Cups. We are worthy of happiness and fulfillment. What we don't deserve is to put ourselves in this mental conflict by other people, other situations, external factors to us. We need to own our integrity and recognize we are worthy of this. Don't deceive yourself anymore by saying you're not worthy of it. This is part of the healing journey to discover these things, to be illuminated. The full moon last week might have illuminated some of this truth to you. It's very important that we maintain our integrity. That one wanted to come out. I knew there was another. There's two actually. This one's on the floor. Bear with me. Wow. Oh. Okay, one went on the floor and one flipped over on the table. So we have Pluto to remind us of that deep transformation that's needed. This is Pluto energy. It's in the upright. It's a powerful reminder. And then this one, Pallas Athena. So Pallas is that asteroid, the embodiment of the divine feminine energy in reverse. So what we had is we had a masculine energy coming out, not knowing what way to turn, and feminine in the reverse. So needing to embody the feminine energy, of course, Queen of Cups in reverse as well, that I was drawn to, needing to lead with the heart, and from the masculine, needing to get that courage within to make a decision. But ultimately, there is transformation and rebirth when it comes to this feminine energy, certainly. And as we saw the healing, we saw activation. So divine feminine being activated potentially, that's going to help bring the masculine to their full strength. But we need to make sure there's balance, of course, between the two energies. But this is about embodying that divine feminine energy that's going to help nurture ourselves through this transformation, through this change. We need to be kind to ourselves whilst we're going through all of this. This has been heavy, this has been intense, and just recognize that you're getting through it. It feels challenging, it feels like a struggle at times. I resonate with that 100%. So look after yourself and recognize where there are aspects, just as I'm looking back at the cards here, recognize where there's aspects that are causing you conflict, that's causing you to perhaps put your barriers up. Why is that happening? Is that a wound? Is that a defense mechanism because of a wound? Is Lilith showing you the wound that's there, making you kind of go like that? Is it Lilith that's showing you this, that somebody else has caused you to put the guards up? Is it Lilith showing you that you're putting your guards up because of the past, because of some pain in the past, perhaps abandonment issues, inner child wounds, etc., when it comes to your worth? And it's time to take the power back. It's time to embody the divine feminine within and recognize nurturing yourself, healing yourself through this process, allowing yourself to be in a place of integrity, the soul's essence, the soul's truth, knowing that you're worthy of great things. And that if you're being told you're not, that is external to you and that's their journey, that's somebody else's journey, not yours. It's merely a lesson for you to empower you, to make you stronger. It's got nothing to do with anybody else, what you choose to do in your life. And when it comes to your happiness, only you know what makes you happy, what makes you fulfilled. And if you need to express yourself, that Mercury and Aquarius energy supporting that, if you need to change your communication to how you communicate with people that you're connected to, how you communicate to yourself, I am worthy of divine love and abundance, then that is what this transit is also teaching you and empowering you to do, might I add. So I'm sending you love. I've got all these hearts on here, sending you love and blessings through your healing journey, through your powerful transformation. You are a sovereign being. You know if you're here to do bigger things than what you have been doing, because there's been that inner resistance to situations you've had to go through. You've had to sludge your way through the cocoon to come out the other side as the butterfly. And that's not easy. It's not easy, but it's worth it. And this is the important factor to bear in mind. It's worth it. If you're coming from a place of integrity, you're doing everything in alignment with your divine truth. Regardless of what other people around you are doing, saying, thinking, acting, being, whatever it is, it's nothing to do with them. If you're getting affected by a situation and not a connection, again, Lilith might be bringing up, where are you deceiving yourself with that? Why are these wounds coming up when you're only involved in this situation? Maybe that situation is not good for me anymore. I'm going to use the Mercury in Aquarius energy to cut through the truth of the matter and to speak my truth, even just to tell myself, you're not doing that anymore because this is not right. So I feel empowered by that. And as you can tell, quite passionate about that. I want to just relay that to you because we're all beautiful souls. We are trying to navigate our path in this 3D reality of life. And it's very important that integrity is that name of the game, really. The essence of change is still around, but I would say at the moment now, integrity is coming through loud and clear as the word. We've got change going on, but integrity now is important to come from a place of integrity and make the choices that are in alignment with you. If you're dealing with somebody who is not worthy of your energy, you need to express that and you need to change, innovate, Aquarian energy, that connection that's going to best suit you. This is recognizing we've been doing things for other people and maybe it's time to turn the spotlight back on ourselves. So if anything comes up to you that you're feeling, why am I not feeling worthy of that? Put that little light switch on. And what's that light then showing you? Is it showing you, okay, it relates to my past. It relates to a fear because someone told me something when I was 10 and now I'm just being reminded about that. Is it somebody in your present situation? Do you need to distance yourself from people? It's recognizing how it resonates for you, if it resonates at all, because this is collective energy. It's not going to resonate for everybody. But this tower means business and there is resistance to it. With Pluto coming out as well, this change has to happen. So it's better to make the choice, because that enables you to free yourself of the conflict and to gain the happiness in whatever way that might be. But ultimately the healing journey is here. So you need to be kind to yourself as well. But when we're kind to ourselves, when we actually operate from that place of integrity and we can see what is not right, you know, what's going on, hanging around with those people doesn't make me feel good. Going to that place, going to that job doesn't make me feel good. So what does that tell us? What do we need to do about it? And it's all part of the healing journey, because we're learning. I hope that finds you well, and take care of yourselves. Recognize this energy of Mercury and Aquarius is there to allow freedom of expression and liberation of your communication to others, but also to yourself. Change, Aquarius energy and essence of change, innovate how you communicate to yourself. Instead of saying, I'm not worthy of this because someone told me to, you need to say, I am worthy of this, and this person just showed me that that wasn't right for me. So it's changing how we communicate in that respect from a place of integrity. So take care, and I'll speak to you soon. All the best.